What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Frozen Rope Podcast. I am John Hunter. This is Danny the Pitchman Hart, and I got my guy Mason Hall here from the Loaded Bases Podcast. Mason, what's up?
Not much. Just enjoying the timing. 5:45 p.m. We have lots of time tonight. We have lots of time to talk.
Absolutely. So Mason, I just wanted to, obviously you do the Loaded Bases Podcast.
Yep.
I've seen a couple episodes and I really enjoy what was going on there. I've also noticed that you also have been doing this campaign for minor league baseball. Do you want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, for sure. So like it all goes back to like when I first like started my podcast. So I got in connection with the guys at More Than Baseball. And so then like, cause when I was prepping for like one of my earlier podcasts, I came across an article like that talked about that, like the low pay and then like the bad housing, like in the minors. And that like surprised me. So it was, so, and then like, cause my first job, like when I was like 14, 15, I was a bat boy, like for a single A team, like up here. And then there was guys like who like they would like ask us to go get we would go get like the drinks and stuff like for them like in like the food area in the concessions. So and then I was confused on like why they didn't just like have it like in the clubhouse. So but then like fast forward to now, it kind of like hit me. I'm just like this is not right.
No.
So yeah, so then now, I mean, like with doing like my podcast, I mean, like, cause I focus on like the minor league guys. I mean, cause they all have like their own unique stories, and it kind of like I felt like personally that I could try and do something with it.
Absolutely. So,
and then that's kind of like how and like why I try and like to advocate like for the minors. But yeah, so like right now, so cause I talked to the guys at More Than Baseball, and I pitched them my idea of making, I guess, kind of like October 25th. I mean, because there is no baseball today. So I was like, what if I just try and make like the hashtag stand with minor league baseball trend? And I mean, like so far it's gotten over, I mean, cause I haven't like tallied up the whole, I mean, like all the retweets and likes, but I know for a fact it's over 200 retweets, and like we're just trying to, I mean, I'm just trying to do my part and try and stay in the game as long as possible.
Yeah. So anybody who is listening right now, please go on to Twitter, anywhere you can go, and make sure you do this. That you hashtag stand with minor league baseball MILB. Please do that.
Yep.
It would be a huge help for them and everything that goes on there. It's actually crazy how little they get paid. I mean, I saw the statistic you put earlier. It was that for this the average for a 7 year for 7 years is $6,800 for the year. That's well below poverty level. That's ridiculous.
It's insane. Well, yeah, because like the poverty level is $12,000 a year, and then like the thing that the people like don't like realize is that like the minor league guys, like, because they only get paid during the season, like, so they don't get paid during spring training. So I mean, so they have to figure it out pretty much. I mean, because you hear the stories like of the guys like who they have to like work like for Uber, and they have to, I mean, like find like random jobs like just to go to spring training, just to go to their main job that they have to do. But I mean, like I've heard of guys like sleeping in cars, and you just got to do what you got to do. Yeah, exactly.
That's awful, and it shouldn't be that way. I was happy to hear that they at least started giving them. They're going to start doing housing. I mean,
exactly.
And I saw. I believe it was Will Middlebrooks posted something recently about like when that whole thing came out, and his first initial thought was, all right, well that's cool, they can do that, but I can't wait for them to tell us why they can't pay them good enough now too, because they're paying for housing. So I'm just hoping it all comes together. Let's all realize that these guys are still major league baseball. They're not major league players, but they're professional baseball players. They deserve to get the recognition of that.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, like the guys, the minors, like they're the future of Major League Baseball. So why not invest in your guys who work for you? Because the guys like the minors, those are the ones that win you championships later on. So why not?
Couldn't agree more.
Like, why not put like $1 million? I mean, because like $1 million to a $1 billion owner, that's, I mean,
it's $100
that's
to
chump
$1
change.
billion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's
And
why
even if you pay them $100,000 for the year, you know what I mean? Like that would be a nice salary for them.
Yeah.
Like to start off, you know what I mean? Just to start off with that. And then if, as they go on, let's just keep growing it every year, every couple years.
And they'll be able to focus on baseball. Like it's crazy that they have to spend the majority of their year going to do everything they can to be able to afford a regular
to survive.
life.
Just to survive.
It's nuts. It blows my mind.
Yeah, imagine how many kids that they didn't get the big signing bonus money. They didn't grow up in the greatest
and that's
family
90% of
exactly.
Of the league.
So how many kids that did we not get the chance to see finally figure it out when they were 22 years old and become go on to become what they could have been, that didn't get a chance because they had to leave. They couldn't afford to do it anymore. Like they had to go get a regular job. Like it's crazy.
Sad.
It's taken this long to finally give them housing, let alone this should have never been a problem this far. It's crazy.
And then, because the question now is what are they going to do about the housing? I mean, are they going to rent out hotels or what are they going to do? I mean, because that's the next question.
Yeah.
I mean,
what's the housing?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
They're going to rent out a studio apartment building and just everyone gets a studio apartment. I mean, that would be cool. It'd be better than what they got, but
dude, I live in a studio apartment and I love it. So,
yeah, I mean, yeah,
I love this place.
Absolutely. So Mason, I'm going to start off with something that's probably going to, I see the W flying in the back over there.
Oh yeah, dude.
So I want to talk about something that's probably going to actually make you probably upset. Let's talk about Oliver Marmol being hired as the manager today of the Cardinals. Marmol has been with the club since 2011. Actually, he's been with them before that. He was actually drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals. Then ended up going on as he's been with the organization as a coach of some sort since 2011 when he was the hitting coach for the GFC, with the Gulf Coast League Cardinals. He was with he's been with the big league club as a bench coach and base coach since 2017 now. It seems to be a trend with the St. Louis Cardinals where they're very they're not very they don't like to what am I trying to say when they don't like
they keep it in house.
Keep it in house, exactly.
Yeah,
they don't like to do that because they did the same thing with Mike Schilt. Schilt has been with the team since around the same time, honestly, as Marmol has. Marmol is also going to be the youngest major league manager in baseball right now.
How old is he?
35.
35.
35 years old. Yeah. So he will be the youngest manager in Major League Baseball right now. But he's also going to be the first manager for the Cardinals that is a person of color, which is also pretty cool for what's going on in the world right now. And it's pretty interesting that it obviously took a long time for that to happen, but the Cardinals have been successful, so they really haven't had to change managers that often.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean here it is. We're here now, and we have Oliver Marmol as the new manager of the Cardinals. What do you think about that? What do you guys think about it? Both of you?
Hey, I mean, for me, good luck to them. That's all. Danny, go ahead. That's it.
I mean, I completely respect that. I love the old rivalry, but yeah, I mean, I think it's a move that it just makes sense for what they do. I mean, it's just they keep it comfortable. They obviously have known them. They always seem to make that move. They always keep it in house, and it's just it's what they do, and they're obviously not changing. I mean, Schilt pushed back a little bit too much. I guess that's why he did get fired in the first place. He wanted to do things his own way, and the front office is his boss. So you keep pushing back, you're going to get unfortunately fired. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a move that a lot of people did see coming.
It's just it's very interesting because you don't see that the way it's crazy how the Cardinals are that well-oiled machine where they continually they're not only do they produce good players, they're now producing managers as it is too. Like they're keeping their managers in the minor leagues and then grooming them to become major league managers. That's like it's an absolute factor. It's pretty crazy how they do that all the time. And I mean, it should be interesting to see how this goes. And it seems like he's very respected within the organization. It seemed like from what I read, from what I saw today, I mean, it looked like Mike Schilt is the reason why, pretty much why he was let go, is because he, like you said, he pushed back too much, and there was definitely a rift between them. And I don't know. I'm very interested to see how this goes.
You can't have that. I mean, like once a manager like doesn't listen to the front office, I mean, like even though the manager is the one like on the field, I mean, you still gotta listen to your boss. Like that's kind of the end of the day thing.
So me and Danny were talking last week. It's kind of, or 2 weeks ago. It's just funny how this and the one thing that I keep comparing this whole situation to is Moneyball in 2002. It's a very similar it seemed like it's a very similar reason on why he was let go. It seemed like it's a similar reason on why he didn't want to be a part of what was going on. They wanted to be more analytically driven, which it's weird because I feel as if the Cardinals are already pretty analytically driven, but they wanted to push it more, which, hey, I get that and I understand that. But it seemed like he was kind of like, I'm the manager, and he kind of looked at him and went, well, I'm the GM and the owner wants me to do this too. So, and it ended up being where they just parted ways, even after, and there was also a winning streak involved in 2002 with the A's. There's also one with the Cardinals this year. It's very similar situations that go on there, and it's pretty interesting to see that. And now we have another young manager in baseball, which I'm happy about. I like seeing these guys in their 30s being managers right now. Yeah. I love that. I love seeing that.
I won't say because the Cardinals, I mean, the things like that I do have good to say about them. They have a lot of talent. They have tons of talent.
Yeah.
And I mean, because they got hit like with like Jack Flaherty, I mean, like being hurt and all that stuff, and dude, like, I mean, like they can seriously make a run next year. I mean, because I would say like they're a well-oiled machine.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, like they played themselves into a wild card spot, and they just, I mean, like unfortunately lost to the Dodgers like for a walk-off home run. But hey, dude, the possibilities are endless.
It always is in St. Louis.
And John, to your point, like you said, they were grooming him in the Gulf Coast League. Like they. How many years ago?
2011 is when he was.
So this dude was 25 years old. Probably, maybe couldn't afford to play minor league baseball anymore.
And said, "I'll be a manager, and I can get guaranteed pay right now."
And maybe they were like, "Listen, we do things the way we do it in the Cardinals organization. We don't venture off. We don't change it too much. You're young enough. You're going to understand the analytical part of it. Maybe Schilt didn't. And for 10 years now, they've been grooming this dude to be the Cardinals' way, but in a new age as well. So it's like a perfect storm, and it's just good timing, I guess. Bad timing for Schilt, but I'm sure he'll find another job somewhere.
He's already interviewing for the Padres job, it seems like.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, nice. It's I think it's funny that you guys like talk about that. So like earlier on, I think it was like one of my like earlier episodes. I think it was like episode like 4. So it was like very very early, and Tiger Peterson. So he actually he coaches for he's in the Cardinals organization. I believe he's in the Springfield Cardinals, which is high A.
Mm-hmm.
And then so he played like in the organization like as a minor leaguer, but then he just transitioned into being a manager, just because like the organization. Yeah, exactly.
It's just what they do.
And I'm assuming after Marmol gets shit canned, you're gonna end up seeing
Yadier Molina is going to be
Tiger Peterson there, or
Yadier Molina as a manager. That would be. I
would love to see him get kicked out.
He doesn't look like he's somebody you want to mess with. He's got that neck tattoo going on. It doesn't seem like it's. He seems like he's just insane.
Absolutely.
So you're saying that with neck tattoos and any tattoos up here, like you're insane, right?
Yeah, you got something back there?
Let me see, bro.
Dude, I got like 2 X's back there.
Yeah, look at this.
You're gonna be managing.
He's a psycho. He's a psycho.
Unfortunately, you're gonna be managing for the Cardinals.
Psychopath over here. Psychopath.
All right. So let's talk about the ALCS and the NLCS. It just ended. We had 2 Game 6s, which they were fun. It was a lot of fun. I'm a Red Sox fan, so it wasn't too much fun, but it was fun in the sense that I just enjoy baseball. So, in the ALCS, we'll start there. We'll start with the ALCS. The one thing that was kind of crazy in that Game 6 is one, Luis Garcia just absolutely dominated. It just didn't even seem fair. It kind of is crazy to me that he gained 3 miles per hour on his fastball within a week, but that's neither here nor there, I guess. I don't know how that happens. Do you know how that happens? I don't know how that happens.
You just go to the next level, man. Like dude, that's the playoffs. That's
your throw. Like
that's a competitor right there.
I've seen guys gain speed on their fastball. I've never seen three full miles per hour on a fastball in a week.
So you don't think he was purposely only throwing 94 all year?
Yeah, he was
just to piss your team off.
They were just sitting there like this guy throws 94. He throws junk, and then out of nowhere, the dude just is gassing them up.
The greatest possum play I ever seen.
It was insane. It was a perfect time to do it. And then you have Yordan Alvarez, who I feel like it was just impossible to throw to him. No matter where you threw to him, you threw to them on the outside of the part of the plate, he's taking it the other way. He pulled that ball, and it still blows my mind how Kike Hernandez dropped that fly ball in center field. I get it. He's not a normal center fielder, but he's been a normal center fielder all year. You got to catch that ball. That was a momentum swing. That scored a run. And 1-0 at that point felt like 50-0. And then when it was 2-0, it felt like 100-0. So it just didn't seem like there was any way that they were scoring. I don't know. It was just a very confusing process, especially since it was just, it like you had Eovaldi, who pitched his ass off, who he got out of that huge jam in the 5th inning, I believe it was. And it looked like they were about to score a shit ton of runs, and he ended up getting out of it and getting a 1-2-3. After he gave up the guys who go on 2nd and 3rd, he just sat there and went, I'm just going to strike out everybody now. And then he did that, and it was just insane.
I mean, I would not want to face Eovaldi like in a big situation like that.
No.
Dude throws gas. Like it's no way.
He's a tough pitcher, and you had and it's hats off to him because when he signed that deal, when Dombrowski gave him that deal in 2018, right before he actually split, right before he left, he gave Eovaldi a deal that ended up taking him. He's still with Boston now, and people were like, well, that seems like a stupid deal now because it just didn't look good because he wasn't really performing that great. Then this year, he's going to get Cy Young votes this year.
Dude, Eovaldi in the playoffs is a different Eovaldi.
It is 100%. I mean, we all remember that World Series game where he went 8 innings in relief, and it took the game. Well, for us, it ended up being like 4:00 in the morning. For you, it was just a normal goddamn day. It was,
yes, sir.
It felt like the longest day ever. It was the longest game I ever watched in my life. Just sat there and just watched Eovaldi deal just for him to lose, and it was like you felt bad for him because he was dealing.
Yeah, he took that ball and he knew like what he had to do.
Yeah,
but welcome to baseball. Like we don't know dude. I'm telling you, baseball is the hardest sport to bet on.
It's the hardest sport,
especially
period.
Like that stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Like betting on, playing, it's the hardest sport ever. Like people can say what they want about other sports, but when it comes down to it, like the hardest thing, you're hitting a round ball coming 95 plus miles per hour with a tree trunk. Like good luck with that.
I mean, give 95% of the population a glove, and they won't be able to catch it, let alone fucking hit it with a bat.
Facts.
Exactly.
Facts.
And you got to catch it with leather. Good luck with that. Seriously, good luck with all of that. But we all. I mean, I played in high school. I'm sure, and Danny did as well. I'm sure you played as well in high school level and stuff. And it seems like it's insane when you're like, oh, this is easy when you play, but then you really look back and you're like, well, like that's a hard thing to do. It's very hard to do.
Yeah. But there was a. Oh, go ahead.
No, and I'm saying you have guys like Yordan Alvarez who had a 1.408 OPS in the playoffs. Like
ridiculous.
That's insane.
He had 7 hits in 2 games, and the Red Sox had 5. game
Yes.
5
Yeah.
and 6. Like
Yes.
he out hit them. Like
Yeah, hit the team. Like
he should have got straight up Barry Bonds treatment. Like he shouldn't have seen that pitch at all. They should have
Just
just
walk the dude.
Jared Carabas was
Hell yeah.
posting every time he came up to the plate. Why are
fucking
we
walk
pitching
him.
to him?
Yeah,
Why are they pitching
Yeah.
to him?
You should have had Peralt throwing fucking Reese cups at him from the monster. That's the only thing that should have went his way. He should not have seen any other pitches. Just Reese cups.
Seriously, it's insane because he should, like you said, he should have gotten the Barry Bonds treatment. There, like I would have, if there's any like that, there's so many situations that he came up, and I was like, why is he not just getting walked?
Yeah.
And then he hits a single, and they're like, well, you can't really walk him in that situation. It's like, well, he just got a single, so what's the difference between a single and a walk? It's the same thing. He still ends up on first. Put him on first.
Well, yeah. Oh no. Oh, exactly. I mean, because like, but I'm like with like a walk, like he's just going to first.
That's it.
Yeah, and he's slow as dirt, so it's not like he's not going to take second.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll tell you what, he didn't look slow as dirt when Kyle Schwarber tried throwing him at home.
Well, yeah, that's true.
He was that which was even crazier because Kyle from Waltham was almost able to turn a triple play there, and that was pretty
Dude,
insane.
that's my boy.
I love Schwarber, dude. I'm hoping the Sox were able to bring him back. I know that there's a mutual option that's going to be discussed, and wouldn't be shocked if he took the out and wanted out and going to go test free agency because he deserves it. He had a great year this year.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a perfect fit for Boston or for the Cubs. Like, there's cities that people just fit in, and he's one of them. Like, he didn't belong in fucking Washington. Like,
no.
He
did not
I mean,
belong.
like, he was awesome, like with the Cubs, but like I think like honestly, I think in like 2017, like I was like, you know what, like he needs to go to a team like where he can just hit. And dude, I shit you not, like my choice like to replace David Ortiz was Kyle Schwarber. Send him over, and now I mean it's just like one big circle, but like dude,
it's
gotta have that guy there.
I'll never forget watching him. I think he tore his ACL, correct? When he was with the Cubs, and that was like awful. Like I remember seeing that.
Oh,
and, like,
dude,
he was on a warning track and just fell. Like, and everyone was like,
yeah, that
oh
was
my
God.
God.
That was in 2016.
Yeah.
It was Schwarber and Dexter Fowler. They collided, and then he just like went down.
Something with his knee, right? Popped out or something like that.
And then it was just like, you got to be shitting me, because he tore it up like in 2015, like in the playoffs, and then we lose him like the first week. It's just like nice.
We got Chris Laif saying Phillies bring Schwarber here. I mean, he did have one of his best.
Dude, this is live? This is like live?
Oh, this is live, baby. This is live.
Fucking live.
Dude, I didn't know that this is live.
I'm sorry.
We don't do edits.
Yeah, we don't do edits. We just go for it.
Good, because I don't do edits either. My stuff, like I don't do any edits. I like the
authentic stuff.
Dude, I don't prep for anything. I ask one question and then we go. Like,
dude,
we flow.
It's funny because Dan, I sent Mason the like the same thing I sent you. Just said like, listen,
started prepping like that.
Yeah, and I was like, is there anything that you want to add? And he said, me and you prep so differently right now. He's like,
honestly,
he's like, I got to tell you how I do it too. He's like, because he's like, people just look at me and go, what? When I tell them, and
I'm like, because like I like read over it and I was like, damn, dude, like I literally
That's a lot of shit.
I'm like, because I just send like my guys, like I talk to like my baseball background, and then we just go.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to like,
dude, that's awesome.
To be honest, the first time I really started doing this. Well, I started doing this podcast by myself about a year ago. Actually, is when I started doing it during the World Series last year. I started doing it by myself, and I had a couple good people on here. I had Steve Peralt from Barstool on here, who also does the Section 10. He actually just left Section 10 today, which was pretty crazy because he's been with them for like 7 years.
100 episodes.
Yeah, he's been with them for a long time, and it was so I had him on here. I had a Philly beat writer on here for Kevin Cooney. I've had a couple people on here, and I started doing it around then because a guy who I talked to a lot about doing this, and he said, John, just write stuff down. He's like, if you write stuff down, it makes things flow easier. And he's like, the conversation will continuously go. You'll have an easier. And then I stopped doing it, and me and Danny realized like our podcasts were going like crazy over, and we were like, and I was like, and we realized like 2 weeks ago when I started doing it. He's like, damn. He's like, that just flow. One, it flowed, and
Yeah,
then it
'cause
just
usually-
flew by.
Yeah, usually our flowing is like might tend to go off topic a little bit.
Yeah, and I definitely have some type of ADD. So like,
Oh, yeah, me too,
like,
absolutely.
I'll start talking here,
Hey,
and then I just start
same.
talking over there again, and it's like it just goes all over the place. So it was just I knew I had to start getting back to doing this.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't, it would just be a mess. But I like to have more of like a good format of trying to figure out
for
how
sure.
we're going to talk. You know what I mean?
I mean,
But-
I think when I like started like my podcast, I did have like the questions like that I wanted to ask, like, but then when I did ask them, they kind of like, I would ask the question and then I would kind of like want to go to the next question and then I
Yeah.
wouldn't like fully like listen to the guest. So it would
Yeah.
just, I mean,
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
my first question of every single podcast is what do you do? And then we just go from there. And that's it.
Yeah, and that's that's a good question. What do you do? Like,
Yeah.
and
then
that's
just branch out.
and we had so me and Danny also do a podcast for the Phillies during the Philly season, and we've had a couple of guests. We had a couple of guys that you probably wouldn't even know, but like they're guys who are pretty prevalent here in Philly, and it was and I feel like that was like one of our first things. It was like, well, tell people what you do, and then like that's an easy 5 to 10 minutes of them talking if they just tell you what they do.
Yeah.
So that just blows by the time right there. So it's not bad.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, well, I mean
Um,
that's a thing. Like me and you, John, we can't just every week just be like, so what do you do? Yeah, it's like, we do it, a lot of times it's just me and John, so it's like we do have to have some talking points, and then so sometimes we go 2 weeks without episodes, so there's so much actual baseball content to talk about. So I guess that is why you have to like
the beginning of every episode starts with there's been a lot of things that have happened in baseball, and it's like
it
starts to sound like, all right, well, like, but like it's crazy because this year there was a lot of like every week. I feel like
there's so many
new.
backstories.
Yes, there was something new. I mean, the Trevor Bauer thing was huge this year.
People getting arrested.
Exactly.
There was all this stuff.
There was so much
Ohtani
stuff that was
every
involved.
day.
Ohtani was an easy one, but like what's weird is I feel like we didn't even really talk about Ohtani at all this year. Like we kind of like only time we talked about him was when we talked about the MVP voting, and that was it.
Yep.
Like and which is crazy, because I feel like you got guys like Ben Verlander who every episode there was like a 15 to 20 minute piece on Ohtani during his podcast. So it was like, it's crazy. But see, we're doing it again. I'm getting off track. And
my bad, dude. That was all me.
All good. All good. So the NLCS.
It's the Corona talking.
Yeah, there it is. It's a Corona. The NLCS also won 6 games, and there was also an absolute monster in that NLCS in Eddie Rosario. I mean, Eddie Rosario, he had probably the best 3 games I've ever seen, other than I guess Kike Hernandez a week ago, and then you had Yordan Alvarez. Like there were some pretty dominant players in these CSs, in the LCSs.
Yeah. It's like Rosario he space jammed Kike Hernandez.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So you had him. Those 3 games were just insane. One of the craziest stats that I saw during all this, in Game 6, between Betts, Turner, Seager, and Bellinger, they were a combined 1 for 14 with 6 strikeouts in Game 6.
Can't do that.
You can't have that. You
That's
cannot
tough.
have that. And like if they want to look back to, I mean, a big reason why they are not playing in the World Series, you got to point to that. That's something that's got to be talked about. I mean, that's a huge thing right there.
Yeah, but you hear more talking about like Muncy and Justin Turner. Like I get it, but your lineup is so deep that like you can afford to lose a couple people.
Dude,
like,
their lineup. Okay, like I was shocked that the Giants like won the division.
Yeah.
Only because of how stacked the Dodgers were this year, especially with getting Scherzer and Trey Turner.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
How can you not
they would just be benching Chris Taylor? Like I understand Bellinger had a terrible season, but like the fact that he's just like these players are on your bench is fucking absurd.
Yeah.
I mean, we just talked about how deep and stuff. You know, you just said how deep the Dodgers were, but then you have,
Yeah.
and then you had what happened to the Braves, and the Braves kind of just pissed all over that and said, all right, well, we're going to bring in 4 guys who are going to make up for
2 guys.
Acuna, who was probably he was on a verge of an MVP season. He was he was definitely looking that way as an MVP.
Do you think that Acuna would have led the major leagues in home runs?
I think he would have been close. I think it definitely would. I mean, I don't know. I think he has that. He definitely has that. You know, that possibility. I mean, but you had guys like Vladimir Guerrero who absolutely tore the house down this year, and then also Ohtani, who was doing what he was doing. It's once you get to a certain point, it's like I don't like. It's what Pete Alonso I think was the last guy to hit 50. So I mean, he's the last guy to hit 50, right? 53 homers was could he have hit 50 this year? Acuna, possibly, definitely. I think he definitely could. I think he has that type of power. He's just an overall great hitter. So losing that in your lineup is insane. So
that's huge.
And the fact that Alcs was able to bring in, you know, the guys that he was able to bring in Soler, Rosario, Peterson, and Duvall to make up for the Acuna being down, Ozuna being getting suspended for the year. Like that's all huge things that happened this year to the Braves, and that you lost 2 huge guys in your lineup,
big bats,
huge,
and then you still come out and
and you're still in the World Series. Like that's something that really I don't think gets talked about that much. And then not even just that, you know, everyone thought, you know, Soroka was going to be back this year at some point, and then he never came back.
Yeah.
But
I totally forgot about him.
Yeah, but Max Fried stepped up. Max Fried stepped up and was able to do what he did. Yeah. Then they also had the addition of Charlie Morton this year.
Yeah, Charlie Morton's big,
which was huge. And that's the things that I look at, and I'm like, I mean, how wouldn't the Braves, you know, go to the World Series? And I had a guy earlier who just looked at who you know, when I shared this that this was going to be on tonight, he commented and said Astros in 5. I mean, I'm not really sure how you can just directly say that, because it seems like right now everything the Braves touch turns to gold right now. So how am I going to sit here and say that?
It's funny that you say that everything that the Braves touch is, I mean, like everything that they touch turns to gold, because I got Braves in 5 and walk-off home run to win it with Freddie Freeman.
That's how it ends?
Gotta have a gold chain. But 100%. Braves in 5, turning gold.
I won't mind that. I'm seeing that would be nice. And I don't know, Mason, if I've told you about this. I'm sure I have. I'm sure you've seen it. My early in March on this podcast, I said in March 11th, my World Series pick was Astros, Braves in 6. So it could all come to fruition. It could all happen right now, and I'm hoping it does. I mean, I wanted my Red Sox in it, so I kind of wouldn't have minded if it lost, if that whole thing lost. Yeah, absolutely. But now I'm gearing to being right. That's what I want to do. I just want to be right now. I want to be right.
I think. Okay, I will change mine. I'll say Braves in 6, just so you can have your
my guy.
Perfect
Thank you.
pick, because
I appreciate that.
My picks were not there, so we're good.
And I'll say fuck the Braves.
Fuck the Braves. Hey, that's fine. Do what you got to do, Dan. I mean, yeah, you want the Phillies to win? Is that what you're doing? You want the Phillies to win?
Phillies in 6.
They have to make it.
Nice. I will.
Phillies in 9.
Phillies in
9.
Phillies in a few years.
Yeah, it's not happening. But while we right before we start to talk about before we get into the whole World Series thing, I want to pause and show the live shows that the Buzz has that has to offer, including this one.
You where's the competition? Bring on the competition. We need some competition. Y'all ain't no competition. It's time to ball. Yeah, shawty, time to brawl. Cause see, we about to stomp y'all from the jump ball. Me worried not at all. Your team is gonna fall.
All right, that's everything the Buzz has to offer. Between obviously the live shows, they also go on to Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Go onto their pages, check all the stuff they have out there. There's also stuff as far as articles, stuff like that as well. Please go out and check them out. Also, another pause for our sponsor, Garrett Group Construction. Let me tell you about the fastest growing construction company in the tri-state area. That's Garrett Group Construction. GGC is available to service all of your construction needs. They specialize in gut rehab, basements, bathrooms, and kitchens. Choose Garrett Group Construction, the official sponsor of the Frozen Road podcast. Call today for a free estimate, 267-262-1660. Once again, that's 267-262-1660. There's no job too big or too small. So the World Series. The World Series is upon us. It starts tomorrow in Houston. Right now, as far as BetMGM is concerned, the Astros are a pretty solid favorite, pretty big favorite. They're minus 145, and the Braves are a plus 120 for the series. I don't know. I just don't. I see it. Obviously, I get it. I understand why people say the Astros. The Astros are a great team. This is ridiculous. It's actually crazy how good they are. They're a very good team, and it's actually crazy for me to say that I don't think they're going to win. But there's just something about it that I'm looking at that and I'm like, I think they're beatable. I mean, the Red Sox took them 6 games, and
yeah,
I don't know. The Red Sox are in a rebuilding year. I just don't know. I mean, I don't think, and none of the Red Sox pitchers. I mean, maybe I guess Evaldi, but really nobody was as good as Max Fried's been since August. Nope. And they have Charlie Moore, and there's more than just him.
And their fucking bullpen has been ridiculous.
Nasty.
Will Smith has 7 shutout innings so far in this postseason. That's what he's looking at right now. So you have him. You just saw what Matzik did in Game 6.
He's been ridiculous.
He's been great. I mean, there's definitely firepower over with the Braves right now too. I just let me hear your guys' points. I mean, I see it, but I kind of can see the other side though. I see the other side.
Dude, Jock P is gonna go off.
It's Jocktober, baby.
He's a bad bitch.
That's what I'm
he is,
saying,
and he's a bad bitch.
He is a bad bitch.
That's his thing. He's a bad bitch.
I don't know. I mean, I think like your prediction, like with Braves in 6, like that. I mean, that's fair. I think that's a fair. I mean, it will go 6 games. It will go 6 or 7 games, and like I can almost firmly say that 100%. Like there is no. I mean, like they're both great fucking teams.
Yeah. But,
dude. Honestly, I just want good baseball. That's my thing.
That's what I want. And again, I'll take a 7-game series. I'll take whatever. The more baseball, the better. That's where I'm at. If I can get more, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, we only have 4 to 7 games left, so might as well get all of them.
You know what? I will take that. I'm going to put $100 on the Braves.
Let's go. And they're like,
write that down.
It just makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, they're plus 120. It's not like it's crazy because I feel like the Astros are a big favorite, but it doesn't seem like the Braves are a huge underdog, if that makes sense. They're plus 120. I don't think that's a crazy underdog.
Yeah.
That's not a crazy.
That's not even.
But minus 145 is a huge favorite.
That's how the books make their money. Like if you got 50% of people betting on fucking both, the book wins. So
what was it? Because there's the guy. What's his name? Mattress Mac. Like, because I tweeted today like that question, like to see like how much like he put down, and then he put down like 3.3 million.
Yeah, not bad
on the Astros. Chump change, man.
Dude, imagine
change. You got 100 Braves, so
yeah.
Guess what? You're $120 going. Yeah, no, he's fucking washing it. He watched a lot of Ozark.
Dude, every single mattress company, that's all laundered money, man. I'm telling you. and car lots. Dude, that's what it is here.
Dude, oh my god, dude. I couldn't imagine putting that much money on it. My whole body would be shaking the entire time.
Dude, I'm freaking out about $100 I'm gonna put down on the Braves.
Your $120 gonna be worth more than his fucking 0 when the Braves win, though.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying.
That's it. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different things that go into this World Series. I mean, there's definite there's a lot of stories, like some good stories too. I mean, you have the Braves who, Freddie Freeman's a pending free agent this year. Could this be his last dance? Could this be his last time? Like, it's possible.
Carlos Correa. Yeah.
Carlos Correa also could be his last
pending
dance.
free agent is
you have Dusty Baker, who
legend.
I mean, I'm sure you're a Cubs guy. This is something that the Cubs thought that they could have had in 2003. Like, this was definitely something that they saw.
Don't even bring that up. That's
Listen,
still a sore
but you know what? Let's bring that up for 1 second.
I was 9 years old and I cried. Okay.
Yeah, listen. Trust me, I was there. I've been there. I saw Tim Wakefield give up a walk-off home run to Aaron Boone, who now is the manager who I have to look at for the Yankees. I have to look at him all the time, and that's all I see. And that was the same year. That was the same year, 2003.
Yeah.
That was just a year of heartbreak for all historic baseball fans who just have been let down their whole lives, and that's all that was. But like, who do you blame more? Do you blame Bartman, or do you blame Alcs Gonzalez for booting that ground ball? That was an easy ground ball to Alcs Gonzalez that he booted.
You know what? Probably Gonzalez.
Yeah, I mean, Bartman was just being
honest to God. But okay, so if Moises Alou did not freak out,
no one cared.
It wouldn't have been that big of a deal at all.
Wouldn't have cared.
But
as a Cubs fan, we had to blame someone.
Of course.
Absolutely.
It's either a goat or
now that I look back, yeah, dude.
It's either a goat or a cat or something. You have to blame something.
Hey,
blame the nerdy guy with his headphones on.
Yeah,
dude. I'm gonna be him for Halloween this year. I think I'm gonna tell my girlfriend that I'm gonna change my I'm changing my outfit.
Yeah.
Thank God you live in Washington.
I'm gonna be Steve Bartman for Halloween. You already bought my Halloween.
She already bought it.
Never mind.
She already bought it.
I'm not gonna be. Damn it.
Next year, you're gonna be Steve Bartman. That's cool. I'll be Bill Buckner. You could be Steve Bartman.
Ooh,
R.I.P. Have you ever seen the 30 for 30 on that?
Yeah, dude. Like, and
he wore the Cubs glove. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
That's pretty wild. Hey. So was it really the Red Sox curse, or was it a little bit of both that made him boot that baseball? I mean, not boot it, went underneath him.
Yeah.
100%. It was both.
Yeah, it was just imagine having both of that on you.
It was just the baseball gods.
Yeah, the baseball gods hated him that day.
Oh, bro, they are real. They're 100% real.
Absolutely. So what do you so Dusty Baker, the fact that he was able to overcome the shit show that ended up being last year,
props.
He deserves so much credit for all of that. Like,
absolutely.
I mean,
100%.
He's now steered the whole conversation. It seemed like he steered it back to where it should be, and that's about baseball. I'm not somebody who hates the Astros for the whole scandal. People steal signs all the time. Don't get me wrong; they did it in a different manner, 100%. They went a little bit further than most people do. But if it wasn't going to be them, it was going to be somebody who did it.
Yeah, because who knows what hasn't been caught yet? We don't know.
I have a question on that one.
Different shit.
I have a question. Are you not mad because Alex Cora was involved?
That's a good question. That's a very valid question. But no, and I'm not mad, and that's not that. No, and it's funny because you would think I would be, and or that's why I wouldn't be that mad, but I don't know. I just don't think it was really that big of a deal.
Yeah, I mean, cause I'm not too mad about it, but I'm mad that I'm upset how MLB handled the situation.
Of course, I mean they gave given immunity to players who probably really shouldn't have got they probably shouldn't have all gotten immunity. I mean, you have Carlos Beltran, who now looks like the scapegoat because he's the only one who doesn't have a job right now. AJ Hinch went back to work. Alcs Cora went back to work. I mean, you could say Jeff Luhnow. He's not going back to work, but it looks like he's trying to buy a soccer team or something. So he's going in another direction. But either way, he's still able to do something in that manner. But
100%.
You had so many guys who were, you have the players that got nothing, but Carlos Beltran for some reason is still not he lost his job. He legitimately lost his job and has not been able to even interview for one. And
Yeah.
right now, the Mets have a vacant job right now. Could he
And
make
then
that comeback?
Dude, he should. I would give it to him just so he had just so he could prove himself wrong. I mean
Yeah.
or no, prove himself right.
Yeah.
I should say. But
Definitely.
give the man an opportunity.
And that's where I'm at. Like, if you don't get I just don't understand why the manager and the bench coach both got away with it. And all players were supposed to get immunity, which Carlos Beltran at the time was a player.
Yeah, correct.
How does he not get immunity there?
Yeah. It makes no sense. And then
It
I think
doesn't
that
make more
there's
sense to
more.
Yeah, it's hypocritical.
I think that there's exactly. I mean, I think that there's more than what we know,
Probably.
but I mean, that's with any situation though.
I mean, then you have the Yankees who it sounds like they had some type of scandal themselves. And
Oh yeah, but
There
that
was
just
that-
got brushed off.
there was that sealed letter that nobody was able to read or nobody was able to see.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
I mean, but of course, the Red Sox are being looked at as cheaters because of the whatchamacallit, the Apple Watch situation. But they also were Apple Watch people.
Yeah.
There was an Apple Watch situation with the Yankees as well. So I mean, and weirdly enough, who was a part of that organization when that was all going on? Carlos Beltran was there for all that. So was he really the whole mastermind, and that's why he's not having a job? That's the only thing I can really think of, is that he was the true mastermind behind it, and they know that. But
I think I'm on your side for that one.
it has to be. I mean, that's the only thing that explains why he's the only one without a job right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes
But
sense.
yeah, I mean, but like I said, Dusty Baker kind of had to deal with all that. Same kind of with Ron Renicky last year, who ended up being he got a shitty end of the stick with the Red Sox last year. Ron Renicky with doing all that when Alcs Correa got suspended, and obviously Dusty Baker was able to overcome it, and he was in the ALCS last year. Now he's in the World Series now this year. I think he's definitely showing what kind of manager he really is, and he's a Hall of Fame manager. He's done great stuff with every organization he's been
hands
to.
down.
Every organization he's been with, he's had a great, it's been great for him. And I saw something earlier that's really cool about Dusty Baker. He made his major league debut with the Atlanta Braves against the Houston Astros.
Oh, really?
And now he's managing
no shit.
He's managing in a World Series with the Houston Astros against the Atlanta Braves.
He looks
no shit.
exactly the same in his playing picture too.
He does. He just looks
He
He
looks
does. He looks-
65 years old in 1980.
Yeah,
He was all
Dude.
gray back then too.
it's kind of crazy how isn't it crazy how 60 people who were 60 years old in the 80s were look like ancient, and now when you're 60 now you look you look young. No, you can't even tell that people are 60.
Yeah.
It's crazy. 60 years old, you're like, wow, this dude's 60. But
Fucking
then
J-Lo was 53
Yeah.
years old.
that's wild.
Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah,
all
they're all
dude, we can-
exactly.
Gwen Stefani. Oh
Yeah.
my God! We can just keep on
Yeah,
naming off names now.
yeah, exactly. And look
It's
look
wild.
who would have thought that this podcast was going to turn into a let's talk about celebrities and how old they are.
Facts.
You know what I mean? But
Facts.
so like we mentioned, there's another pending
Yeah.
free agent in with the Astros, and that's Carlos Correa. I mean, there's a lot that goes on there. They're slowly losing the core. George Springer left last year.
Yep.
Now they have, they could be losing Carlos Correa, which it seems very likely that Carlos Correa is going to be gone. They've tried to work out some type of extension. It looks like Carlos Correa wanted an extension there. He didn't. I don't think he really wants to leave, but if they're not going to give him the money that honestly he rightfully deserves, why not leave? Why not test the waters at least? So he could be leaving. So that's two franchise players that could potentially not be on their teams next year.
Oh,
I mean,
I know all about that one.
It's
Yeah.
yeah. You had a rough one this year.
Yeah, whole core is gone.
Yeah. July 31st was not fun for you guys this year.
I think July 30th was just the Band-Aid ripped off, man.
Yeah,
That
it's sad.
There's a lot of looking into the closet and like, God damn it, what am I going to do with all these fucking
Yeah, what am I doing
jerseys?
with a Rizzo jersey?
Well,
Dude,
at least
I
least-
have no jerseys of Cubs players anymore.
what the hell did you do with them?
they're just chilling. I mean, they're just sitting there.
Oh, like current players. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought you meant like you got rid of the jerseys instantly. I'm like, well, that's a fucking
Oh,
wild
dude,
move.
fire!
Burnt
Burnt the jerseys, man.
Yeah.
Um,
I think like if Correa wins, that's just like if the Astros win, that's more of a reason for him to go get as much money, like the highest bidder
Yeah,
wins, because
100%.
he's going to have 2 titles. If Freeman,
is he?
like, what?
Is he?
Who?
He's gonna have 2 titles.
Correa?
Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
So you think they're gonna win?
No, I'm saying if he does,
Oh.
like if
Yeah.
they win, he's going to have
dude,
2
that's what I heard,
championships.
too.
I was about to
Did
square
you
up.
just say earlier that
I was
you
about
didn't
to.
want
I was
them
about
to
to
win?
come to. I was about to come to Jersey and square up. If
I
you
was-
were,
yeah,
if
I was
that's,
gonna say
if
I'll
that's what
meet
you were
me
going
at
to
my
say.
old stomping. I'll meet you in Port Richmond. We could do it. Old stomping grounds.
Unreal.
But like I feel like it's if the Astros win, like it's just he's already got 2 titles. Like why not just go get as much money as you can?
Definitely.
And at the same time, if that does happen, Freeman doesn't have a title. Like how's he going to leave? Like I feel like go finish what you got.
There's
You're
unfinished
getting
business.
Yeah, you got Acuna coming back. You're like it's just like tough. We talked about it last week. Where the fuck's Freeman going to go? Like I just don't see him leaving.
Yeah,
Just
and
too much of a brave.
And a big thing that you said that is true. I mean, Acuna and Albies both signed
Crazy deals.
pretty much very, very club-friendly deals.
It's ridiculous.
Extremely club-friendly deals. So you got to imagine that there's more than enough money to go around in whatchamacallit in Atlanta right now. If I had to guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is like the thing. I mean, it's there's also Ron Washington, who's with the Braves, who I would like to see win a World Series.
Third base, baby, let's go.
Yeah, exactly,
Sure.
exactly. And I'm a Ron Washington fan. Ron Washington's, in my opinion,
guy.
I think he's the greatest infield coach ever. I mean,
I believe that.
he's got to be up there. I mean, I was a big fan with the whole Texas Rangers thing back in the early 2010s when they were doing what they were doing. That was nice. It was fun to watch, and it's something that you like. There's just certain guys in the game that you want to see win, and I would like to see him win a World Series. I think he deserves it, and obviously he's not a manager right now, but he probably I won't be shocked if in the next 2 years you see him manage another team again.
Braves in 6, baby.
Braves in 6. Braves in 6. I mean, that's
match your $100 bet. I might have to throw a little hundo on the Braves as well.
Yeah, I mean, know what I did want to talk about.
Man.
No, what I did want to talk about. I mean, real briefly, obviously. I mean, and I forgot to say it during the whole NLCS talk. Chris Taylor.
Yeah, it's fucking
That game, the 3 home run game.
Started about Chris Taylor,
which is insane. That was insane. That was an insane game, dude. Wait, not a Chris Taylor guy?
No, I'm a big Chris Taylor guy only because he played for Seattle. I love the guy. I'm up with the Mariners.
Yeah.
But then I mean the Mariners do what the Mariners do. They just give away all their players to World Series teams. But
yeah, I mean, and it's crazy because I love the year that they had this year. I really did.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. And they were America's team.
They were America's team this year. They had to have been America's team. I mean, Mason, me and you talked on Twitter about this last week when you asked me where would I put Corey Seager. It's funny that you say that because last week Danny actually had Corey Seager. One of the teams that he wanted him to go to was the Seattle Mariners, and for the same reason you did.
Yep, exactly. I think to sign Corey Seager, for a nice deal, and then just have Kyle Seager just sign a 1 year.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they
They're
can
fucking
play
Bash
together.
Brothers. Yeah.
Dude, and then have Kyle Seager. I mean, even if he played half the games, he's still the veteran guy, for the infield guys, and then for everyone else. I mean, that's
Definitely.
I mean because the infield now they have nothing but good things to say about him. So it's just why not do it?
Yeah, make it happen. I mean, it would be a really nice thing to see. And even though, I mean, JP Crawford is one of the best defensive shortstops in all of baseball.
Yep.
I mean, it kind of makes it hard. It would definitely make it a hard sell to bring him there. I mean, what you could do is probably move Corey Seager to third and then put Kyle at second.
Yep.
I mean, that's probably what I would do.
Or even
not
like
whatever.
DH him.
Could DH him. Could definitely DH him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a possibility. I mean, but that was just one of the things I forgot to mention that, and I knew that Danny said that last week, and I wanted you to hear that because we did talk about that.
Yeah, it's,
Good
I hope he
Danny.
goes there. Absolutely.
Dude, I like your takes. Your takes.
Absolutely. So to close this out, I'm going to ask 2 questions. I mean, we kind of already answered the one, but we'll have it on tape for the final. What your final thoughts are? Who do you got, and how many games is the first question. It's a 2-part question, but who do you got and how many games? That's one question. Mason, you take it.
Okay. Well, for me, Braves in 5, Gold
Freddie
Chain,
Freeman
walk
walk-off.
off. Yep, Freddie Freeman walk off. But for your sake, Braves in 6.
Okay, Danny.
Because I'm a nice guy.
Thanks, Mason. I appreciate you.
I don't want to also say Braves because we got 2 Braves in 5/6. So I'll be that guy and I'll just go Astros, even though I'm going to bet the Braves.
Dick.
Braves for $100, Astros in 6.
All right. And question number 2: who is your World Series
Hey, that was
MVP?
2 questions.
No, I said it was a 2-part. It was a 2-part question. The first question was.
Yeah.
Who is your World Series MVP? Mason, who is your World Series MVP?
Jocktober, baby.
Joctober. Danny?
Bitch.
Yep.
Guess I have to go. I mean, after what Alvarez has done the last couple games, it's fucking. If they're going to win, he's probably going to be a huge part of it, unless they give him the Barry Bonds treatment, which I wouldn't be surprised.
He might also deserve an MVP for that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that too. Just fucking 1 for 2 at 12 walks in the series. Like that's a very, very good possibility.
And I think everyone knows my
plan.
take. It's Braves in 6. That's obviously where I'm at.
Who do you got?
I have Braves in 6, and my World Series MVP is Max Fried.
I like it.
Ooh.
Do you have
Max
him?
Fried.
Do you have him pitch in relief to end the World Series?
No, he's not doing a Chris Sale thing.
We'll see.
Will Smith's been too good.
Okay, so he's
recently.
gonna do like a Madison Bumgarner.
Just come out and just throw whenever he's gonna have a rubber arm. You're not even gonna really even see it.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, other than you know who else had this take, and I actually had it 18 days before him. Trevor Plouffe. Me and Trevor Plouffe had the same exact thing, and we said it within 2 weeks of each other. And Trevor Plouffe actually liked my tweet when I said it first.
He's probably watching. He's probably watching the podcast.
So Trevor Plouffe, fan of the show. That's all I'm getting out of this. Fan of the show.
Thanks for tuning in, bud.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Trev. We appreciate it. But yeah, Mason, I appreciate you for coming on. I had a good
thanks
talk.
for
It was
having
fun,
me.
man. Absolutely, man.
Always.
And like he said earlier, please the hashtag. Go ahead.
Yeah, dude. Hashtag stand with minor league baseball and MILB.
Mm-hmm.
Post it and share it, and let's get that going.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you for coming on again, and we are out.